Recording. So thank you guys so much for hopping on tonight. I'm so excited for it's normally Thursday, our team call. So all day I thought today was Thursday. I've been so confused. But Ashley is super awesome hosting our call tonight. She takes Thursdays off, which I love. I love, love, love that people are, family time first, business second. And I preach that all day long to people because I did not do that for a very long time. My husband and I fought all the time because it was like me ignoring him. So follow her lead. It's super important to make sure that you protect your family time. Otherwise you will get burnt out in this business. So she is so gracious to offer her time. She has a kick butt team. I thought Lexi was there, so I'm censoring myself a little bit. And she's 26 years old. I say only because I'm an old fart. Retired first grade teacher, 2018 premiere. She locked in. So when we say 2018, if you qualify in 2017, you're called a 2018 team. That's just the way that they word it. So she locked in 2019 Elite in March, which is absolutely crazy. The amount of Elite points you have to do it in, I just had to do math in my head, 3 months into the business. And having that many Elite points when people are like down to the wire and so many people can't even have that many by the end of December 31st. So it just shows you how on fire her team is. She is popping diamonds left and right. I think she said she has like 24 diamonds in her downline. So, oh, dang it. My phone just, hold on. Okay. Number 19 in the network out of over 450,000 coaches. So she's just absolutely kicking butt. 9-star diamond. She's an SC10 legend, for 30 months. And she's in her biz for 3 years, a 6-figure earner. Have you been a coach for 3 years or Okay, yeah, so she's been a coach for 3 years and earned 6 figures. So she's amazing. You know that. I'm just not going to say anything more, and I'm going to let her take it away.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me on, guys. I'm going to share my screen because I'm a squirrel. Let me pull up my PowerPoint and let me minimize my browser. Okay, can you see that? Guys, good? All right, so tonight I'm going to be talking about mastering your mindset and taking major action in your business because this is something for me that I feel like I need to touch on consistently. Tonight I'm not going to tell you anything new. I'm not going to like blow your mind and all these incredible things that I'm doing. Chances are you know exactly what I'm doing. You know exactly what my leaders are doing on my team. You know exactly, we all know exactly what Melanie Mitchell is doing. We know exactly what Bonnie Engel's doing. It's just a matter of like having them lay it out for us and to see, like time management. My main goal for you tonight is to leave you with the fact that you are no different than Melanie Mitchell. You're no different than you're no different than anybody in this network. It's just a matter of taking major action in your business. And I'm going to share a little bit of my story, and I want to take you through the points in my business where I hope that you can relate. And I think having a story is, everybody has a story, right? That is our superpower. Who you are as a human being is what's going to brand you in this business. I think the biggest mistake that coaches can make when they come in this business is to hide behind the brand and allow Beachbody to take the forefront of who you are when it is so backward. I look at the most successful coaches in this network, and it's the ones who are branding themselves and showing them that on the back end, they have this kick butt workout, wellness, like just this support group where they can, consistently focus on themselves and it can be their outlet. But it's so important not to lose those other things. So, like April said, my name is Ashley Feldeisen. I just turned 26 years old. I can't even believe I'm 26. I started this business when I was just about to turn 23. And so my entire life, I wanted to be a teacher. Like I was made to be a teacher. I grew up in a family where my mom was in and out of divorces left and right. And one of the major constants in my life was my mentally challenged uncle, who my mom took care of. And as I was going to elementary school and I was learning how to read and when I was learning how to write, I would bring those things home and I would literally like sit out my stuffed animals, and there would be my uncle, and he would be like my student. And I would I would just teach him these things that I learned in school and bring them home to him. And I was so excited about that. And so that's where my love of mentorship, that's where my love of leadership, and I really did fall in love with literacy at a very young age. And so I never changed my mind. Growing up, I wanted to be a teacher. I went and got my undergrad in elementary ed. I met Tyler. Well, I met him in high school, but Tyler and I, my now fiance, we met our senior year of high school, but we got together. We started dating our sophomore year of college. And so we did long distance for just over, actually we started dating in our junior year of college, I'm sorry. And we did long distance for about 2 years. And so it came the time of graduation, and we had to make the decision of whether we were going to pick up our lives or if he was going to pick up his life. He was living in Baltimore at the time, and move it to Rochester, New York, where I'm from, or if I was going to pick up my life from Rochester, New York, and move it to Baltimore. And so because of the lack of jobs in Rochester, I decided that I was going to pick my life up and move it to Baltimore. So I moved straight to Baltimore. The day after I graduated college, I was 20 years old. I was about to turn 21. I was still 20 years old, and I moved directly into his parents' basement. And so this life of freedom that I created for myself in college was totally changed when I moved into his parents' basement. I did fall right into a teaching job, and I also fell right into my dream master's program because I always wanted to be a reading specialist. So I was living this like honeymoon life. Like the only one thing I would have changed at that point in my life was to be able to afford my own apartment or something. But I was living like I lived my entire life to be in this dream career. I'm going and getting my master's. I'm in a program that's always been my dream. And it was so like honeymoon for like 3 months until it wasn't anymore. And I was pouring everything into my education. I was pouring everything into my career. Tyler was just in a startup. He had just started his own company. He owns a photo booth rental company. And so our lives we had like this much left at the end of the day. And so it came to be like January of 2015 when I made my New Year's goal, like I need to focus on Ashley. Like I am losing the one person who matters most in my life, and that's myself. And what's it all worth if I can't even focus on her? I was sitting at the heaviest weight I'd ever been at. I was so uncomfortable. Like I was always covering up. I was just this person that I didn't want to be. And so backstory, I'd been heavy my entire life. I wish I had a photo to show you, but I had always been very heavy my entire life with my mom's divorces in and out. I just always turned to food. And so I'd always been that heavy girl. But before I moved to Baltimore, I did lose a lot of weight. Just from running 3 miles every single morning, and the stress of moving to Baltimore helped me lose a lot of weight. But anyway, it was January of 2015, and I had totally lost myself. So I saw one of my childhood friends post on Instagram a before and after photo. And I think about this before and after photo consistently because this is the photo that changed my entire world. And whenever I create a post, I always do it based on what I saw in Caitlin. And so this is the part of, I think that this is such an important piece of who we are, is going back to what it was that got you started. I saw in Caitlin my own story. So when Caitlin posted her before and after photo, I knew her story. I knew that she was I think she was a nurse. She was a busy nurse. She was getting married, and she was just a year older than I was. So she proved to me that throughout her busy schedule that I could if she could. I can if she has already done it. And so watching Caitlin prove to me that she doesn't have my dream body. I have my dream body. It's just a matter of she's already accomplished it. She's already achieved it. And so that post was just so transparent for me. And I like wholeheartedly, I go back to that consistently. I don't go back because I don't even know where it exists anymore, but I think back to it consistently, like so vividly, that my life was changed because of her story, because I had the ability to see myself through her story. And that's what we do as coaches. Our stories are our superpower. My main goal, like my mission in this business, is to help other women see themselves inside of me. And so I it was like a no-brainer. I'm like, hell yeah, like Caitlin, you changed my life. She got me started with 21 Day Fix. I fell in love with the simplicity. I was a busy teacher, busy grad student, and I just needed something simple and I needed something sustainable. So I got started right away and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with, like I said, the simplicity of it, that I knew that I could turn around and make this work. Even throughout my busy schedule, it was less of adding something new onto my plate and more so taking off like the ability to have an outlet when I came home from a stressful day. And if I could get out of Tyler's parents' basement quicker, like sign me up for that. So my first month passed and I was like, okay, I just want to get my car payment paid for. The next month passed. Okay, I want to get my car payment paid for and I want to start working toward Diamond. And so all of these goals started to come up and I started accomplishing them. And then what we had, our goal was we had a 2-year plan to get out of his parents' basement, turned into 6 months, and we bought our first house that we're sitting in today in just 6 months with this business. And so what I can say to you, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, is that Beachbody allowed, and it's not Beachbody, right? It's the platform. I allowed myself with Beachbody as the platform to dream again. Like with teaching and being in a place where I was like frustrated with myself because I had set these high expectations for teaching. And then I got there and I was like, this is it. I had lost my sense of drive. I didn't dream anymore. I was complacent, very complacent. And then when Beachbody came into my life, I like moved out of that sheltered hut and I moved into this place where it was just like, you mean like how hard I work, it like determines the success that I have? Game on. And so that was my mindset through it all. And I've never taken my foot off the gas pedal since then. I have had a slower start than some people you hear who've been in this business for 3 years, but I wouldn't change a single thing. Tyler and I are closing on our house next Friday. We are in the process of kind of a full circle moment. We're moving back into his parents' house for 5 months while our house gets built. And we are moving into our dream house. We're building this cute little townhouse and we're so excited about it. It's so funny. I said that out loud today. I'm like, wow, I'm telling my story about living in his parents' basement. I'm literally moving back in next week. But it's all for good reason. So fast forward 3 years, our goodness, this is our team at Summit this year. This is Team Elevate. I just want you guys to know that this time last year, I was a diamond coach. I didn't have any diamonds below me. I had actually Tyler might have been diamond, but he was like consistently dropping from diamond to ruby or diamond to emerald. I was a diamond coach, didn't have any star diamonds below me. Today, we have 24 diamonds on Team Elevate. I just want you to know what is possible in 1 year if you just instill that belief in your core that this is it. Like, who cares about the naysayers? Who cares about anybody that doesn't understand? They don't need to. As long as your heart is beating for it, you're in it, and you just got to make that commitment. So that's going to be kind of what I talk about tonight. This is Tyler and I. We just recently got engaged last month, and this is Deacon and this is Gavin. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably know who Deacon and Gavin are. And if you do want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Feldeisen. Okay, let's move into the content. Controlling the controllable. I am going to talk a lot about my story just so I can kind of relate to you guys because, again, like I said, I think our story is totally our superpower. There are very few things in our lives we can control, right? There are very few things we can control, and there are a hell of a lot more that we cannot control. So before I even go into this like part of this talk, I want you to write in the chat things in your life that you cannot control. Things in your life that you cannot control. And I'm going to do it as well. So put it in the chat. I'm just going to give you like 30 seconds to think of some things. Hey, that's what I said, Victoria. Okay, good. Student behavior, opinions. Ooh, that's a lot. Attitude. Other people's success, how people treat you. I love it. Okay. Perfect. Now I want you to write in the chat things that you can control. I want you to write things that you absolutely 100% can control day to day. Love it. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to close out of the chat and let this keep trickling in. And so now I want you to think of yourself, and I want you to think of a storm that comes rolling through. Like, let's call this storm anything in your life. Maybe you have a really bad fight with your significant other. Maybe you're in the middle of switching jobs. Maybe you got a really nasty email from your boss. Maybe you, your dog has to go to the vet and it cost you $400. Whatever storm comes your way, right? There are two different types of people in this business. One type of person in this business takes the storm comes into their lives, and they allow it to take the forefront. And what they do is they turn off the controllable things in their lives. They turn off their nutrition. They turn off their workouts. They turn off anything positive they have associated into their lives. And they allow this negative to take the forefront. And what do we all know about law of attraction? Is the more negative that we allow into our lives, the more negative we will attract, right? And so if I have, okay, so I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story. So last year, I had a coach come to me and say to me, you know, in the midst of your crazy, how is it that you stay so on track? And so backstory, my dad was a drug addict. I mean, he's always going to be an addict, but he was admitted into rehab last year. And in the midst of him being admitted, I was also picking my life up and moving it to another state. And then we picked it back up and moved it back. And so it was the craziest point in my entire life. It was nuts, right? And so I call that a storm. And so one of my diamond coaches came to me and she said, how are you staying on track of your business, your health, your fitness, your relationships in the midst of that storm? And it was an easy answer. It was, why would I allow that negative to take the forefront of my brain when I know these things make me happy? I can sit here all day and I can dwell on I could think about all of the scenarios that could go through my head about this move and about my dad, but that's not going to make me stronger. Whatever happens is going to be what happens, right? Why not focus on the positive so that I can attract more positive? Because right now I need positive. But so many people, this first person, this storm would come along and they would push pause on the controllable things in their lives, right? Through and through. And unfortunately, there is more of this person in this business than there is of the second person. And the second person is who I've proven to myself that I had become. I was this person where a storm came along and I said, you know what, Ashley, there are two things you can do. You can think of all of the effed up stuff that could possibly go wrong, or you could focus on your reaction. You can become a stronger person, and therefore you will attract more positivity and light into your life. And so I want you to vow to be that person. I want you to vow to control the controllable things. And now I'm going to be honest. There are things we can control in our lives, and then there are things we can control in our business, right? We cannot control the amount of yeses that we get. We cannot control the amount of coaches that say, I'm ready to sign up with you. We cannot control the amount of success points our coaches get. We cannot control how many diamonds we have in our downline. We can only control the things that push us one step further. So in order for us to hit these uncontrollable things, we have got to do these controllable things. Now, what are some controllables in our business? Inviting consistently, not when you feel like it, but inviting. I'm a heavy inviter. And I'll tell you right now, a giant reason that I've been successful in this business is because I invite like a mother effer. I invite like crazy. And I'm going to tell you what, once you get over your fear of inviting, and I hope by the end of tonight you get over your fear of inviting, once you get over your fear of inviting, more people are going to say yes to you. So if you're afraid of the no, send more invites, because you're going to get more yeses. You're going to get more no's, but you're going to get more yeses down the road. And inviting is one thing that you can control. You can control the value you're putting out on social media. Now, are you going to give out value if you're not your best self? Nope. So in order for you to give out consistent value, you need to be pouring into your cup each and every single day. If you are not in a workout program, if you are not focused on a nutrition plan, we all feel so much better. How good does it feel to wake up in the morning knowing that the day before you ate so clean, you drank so much water, you kicked ass in your workout, right? What does that feel like to do those controllable things? It's an incredible feeling, isn't it? Therefore, you know that you'll be able to give back more to your tribe on your social media when you are your best self. Can I get some nods, you guys with me? Okay, cool. So those are the controllable things we can do in our business. And so I want you to pinpoint what those are, because you should be developing a to-do list every single day off of these controllable things. And I'm going to show you my to-do list. I was a teacher, so I don't know how many of you guys are teachers, but I love to have a planner. And so I kind of took this from Melanie Mitchell. But every night before I go to bed, I come up with a to-do list of the controllable things. I also come up with a list of those controllable things. What are my income producing activities? So scrolling social media will not be on my to-do list, right? Because that's not an income producing activity. But my to-do list today was answer Facebook messages, Instagram invites, organize my email, personal development. I know that's an income producing activity because I know when I'm my best self, I attract more people. Wildcard Wednesday, I go live and do a team training in my team page every week. I'm implementing a new team training for my team, message coaches who are halfway to Emerald, and then I have to set new business hours for myself for the next day. And so my to-do list just looks something. I have the happy planner, but I just create my to-do list like this every single day. And for those of you who are not super organized, totally cool. However you want to make your to-do list. But I sit down every night before I go to bed, and I ask myself, what are the things that I need to accomplish tomorrow? What are the controllable things? You'll never see on my to-do list, change 3 lives or hit Success Club 10 by tomorrow or sign 10 coaches, because those aren't controllable things. What are the controllable things that will get me there? And I hopefully that makes sense. And feel free to ask any questions in the chat, guys, and I'd love to answer them at the end. But those are my controllable things. Okay. The decision. I forget who said it. It might have been Ali Tessitore. I don't remember. But the decision, guys, make your yes be yes, because you said yes to this opportunity for a reason. You said yes to this opportunity for some type of reason, whether it was to gain financial freedom, whether it was to never have to say no to your children, whether it was to just help other women feel the way you feel, or build a 6-7-figure income, or be a top coach, whatever it is for you, you made the decision. Luckily, we do not need to invest hundreds and thousands of dollars, thank God. Luckily, we don't need to pay a utilities bill. Luckily, we don't need to pay employees. But unluckily, that's the reason so many coaches quit, because they don't have any skin in the game. We had to pay $160 or somewhere around there to invest in our health. Now, that's not much skin in the game, is it? It's not. Like, my brother owns one of the largest CrossFit gyms in Rochester, and he will never give up on that dream because he invested a shit ton of money into it, right? That, like, he doesn't have another choice. He needs to make it work. And here we are over here. Here I am over here building. He doesn't agree with what I do, and that's totally okay. He doesn't need to, right? But here I am over here building a 6-figure income on a decision that I made to go all in. It was a decision to get healthy and just share that passion like wildfire. Like, how cool of a feeling is that? And I think about it consistently, that because of a decision, I've created, my life has changed forever. And I want you to make the decision right now that you're not going anywhere. I want you to make the decision right now that you'll be here in a year from now. Or make the decision that you're not going to be here in a year from now, and probably shouldn't be on this call, but I hope all of you guys will make the decision to be here in a year from now, because you're not going to have massive change in 1 month. You're not going to have insane change in 3 months. You're going to have incredible life changes in a 12-month period. And I could tell you what, I want you to think about this analogy. A man who has to lose 100 pounds, right? If he says to himself every day, I have to lose 100 pounds. I have to lose 100 pounds. I have to lose 100 pounds. Well, that's a big goal. And it's probably going to scare him if he consistently looks at that 100 pounds lost mark, right? But if he sets short-term goals to get him there, if he loses the first 2 pounds, and then he loses the first 5, and then the first 10, and then the first 20, boom, he's 1/4 of his way there, right? And so, or 25 would be 1/4 of his way there. Math is hard. But if he sets these short-term goals, he will get to that end goal much quicker, right? Or it seems much more realistic. And so I want you to make this decision with yourself that you're going to be here in a year from now. And I want you to cast your 1-year vision. Okay? I want you to cast your 1-year vision. And I want you to write it somewhere. You don't need to put it in the chat. But I want you to ask yourself, where do you see yourself in a year from now? And I want you to think to yourself, what if in a year from now nothing changed? What if in 1 year from now you are exactly where you are today? You are wearing the same clothes, wearing the same pants, you are going through the same relationship, you're waking up the same attitude, you are eating the same foods, you are the same point in your business, you're making the same amount of money, anything, you're the same rank in your business, whatever. In 1 year from today, you're exactly where you are. What does that feel like? Put it in the chat. What does that feel like? For me, it's frustrating. It's a feeling of almost defeat, right? To know that in 1 year from today, I will be exactly where I am right now. Disappointing, feels like crap. Depressing. Good. Now in the chat, I want you to cast your 1 year plan. I want you to tell us where in 1 year from now you crave to be. What decision are you going to make to go all in and be in 1 year from now? Like emotionally, financially, maybe recognition-wise, rank-wise, or any point of your life, whatever you're motivated by. Where will you be in 1 year from today? What's your vision going to be in 1 year from today? Love it. Yes. Love it. Okay, cool. So you guys are very motivated by rank and emotions, right? I'm very motivated by both of those things as well. Like I want to be in 1 year from now, be able to get out of bed and just smile and feel relief and no stress of money, no stress of time, no stress of relationships. And that will come with focusing on ourselves and just pouring in every single day. I mean, nobody's perfect. Even the top coaches in this network who are making buku amounts of money and have great relationships, they still have their shit. If you guys follow Melanie Mitro, it was really funny. She made a post today about her closet. She's like, I might be a four-time top coach, but my closet looks like this. And it was just so real to see that. And you guys have to remember that. Take people off their pedestal and understand that they are there because they made a decision, and now you have the ability to do the same thing. You have the ability to be in or out. And if you're in, make your in be in. Not on days where you feel like it, but every single day. So now let's talk about the sacrifices, okay? And I want you to think of your 4 top priorities in your life. So mine is my relationship with Tyler, my dogs, my health and wellness, and my business. Those are my 4 top priorities in my life. And so I want you to put those top priorities down in the chat. What are your 4 top priorities in your life? Awesome. So if things are not filling those priorities each and every single day, then you need to sacrifice them. You need to make sacrifices associated to them. Now, I am a Netflix junkie and I love it. I love a good Shameless episode. I love Law and Order. Those are things that I absolutely love. But I know and I knew as a new coach, especially as a full-time teacher and part-time grad student, that I needed to make these sacrifices, right? And so Netflix needed to be off my list. And I did have Netflix time, but it needed to be off my list. Other sacrifices. I knew that I needed to eliminate things out of my meal plan. In order for me to make my health is a priority on my list. In order for me to do that, I needed to build knowledge in nutrition, and I needed to make it a priority. I needed to make sure that I was cutting out foods that didn't make me feel or look great, and I needed to hone in on the ones that did. And so yes, we're health and fitness coaches, but we're so much more than that. But health plays a major role. If you want to be successful in this business, guys, just get in the best shape of your life, mentally, physically, emotionally, just get in the best shape of your life. But you need to make sacrifices for the things that aren't filling those priority cups. So for your business, is Netflix filling any of my cups? My Tyler cup? Nope. Well, sometimes I guess it's quality time together, so I will schedule that in. My dog cup? Nope. My business cup? Nope. And what was my fourth one? What was my fourth one? I can't even remember what I said. But it wasn't filling any of my cups, right? And so we had to make those sacrifices. Same thing with certain foods. And so you just need to ask yourself, what are these sacrifices that I need to make? In other terms, instead of cutting things out, there are things that you need to add in. You need to be on every single team call. Like, I cannot, like, when I see a coach on my team, like on their Instagram story, who like we had Melanie Metro on our team call last night, and I had a girl choose This Is Us over to Melanie Metro, and I sure as hell called her out on it, because I'm like, look, girl, you have these incredible goals. You could have recorded that, and I really, really would have loved to see your face on there. And there are just certain sacrifices that you have got to make in your business. And so there are things you need to add onto your plate, and there are things that you need to eliminate on your plate. And I can tell you what, the more you fall in love with this business, the more passion you pour into it, the more you're going to take out of it. The second I decided to just fall into this business, the more I started falling in love with it, and the more passion I started to take out of it. And that is from the bottom of my heart. And I can see all of the successful coaches on my teams, the ones who got to diamond in just a few weeks, or the ones who are consistently like making an income or being able to quit their jobs. They're the ones who care. They're the ones who care more than about the income. They're the ones who care more than about the rank. They're the ones who just want to show up to themselves every single day, show up to their followers every single day, add value into others people's lives every single day, do the non-negotiables every single day, make the sacrifices every single day, and just rinse, lather, and repeat. Or yeah, is that the right terminology? I'm so bad at this. But rinse, lather, repeat, is that right? Rinse, wash, and repeat, whatever. Okay, now I need to look it up after this. But, you guys get it, right? So just waking up and doing it over and over and over again consistently. That's why making a year from now, your commitment that you will be here in a year from now is so important, because you're going to make those sacrifices, and you're going to wake up and you're going to do it every single freaking day. And you're going to throw that little pebble in your pile every day. On Monday and on Tuesday and on Wednesday and on Thursday. And I take Thursday nights off because that's mine and Tyler's time, right? But I'm still going to throw my pebble in my pile, maybe not as many, but you're going to throw your pebbles in your pile. And my pebbles are just inviting and, relating and engaging in other people's posts and adding value. And one day you're going to turn around and you will have created this freaking incredible organization. And that's how it happens. I promise you. That's how it happens. It just starts to build, and 2 turn into 5, and 5 turn into 15, and 15 turn into 200. And you're like, where did all of these people come from? And I promise you, if you make these sacrifices and you make your priorities your true priorities, that will happen to you. Okay. Okay, we have a couple quick things to talk about. So the action, the not so sexy stuff, right? This is the type of stuff that you guys just need to do. So if you have seen my video in the Beachbody Champions page, I made an entire video on how to invite to challenge groups. And so what I do is I take a notebook. It's just, I think it's 32 lines long, a classic notebook, and I fold it in hot dog style. And so I have it on my desk every single day, and this works really great for busy people. I have all of my coaches start this way. Is they number it 1 through 32 and 33 through whatever. You don't even have to number it. I don't number it. I just look at it. And I know that by the end of the day, that sheet of notebook, and as a new coach, I have them do 1 hot dog line, like column a day. And then the next day they do the other one. But each day I know that that's my non-negotiable. I need to talk to that many people. And so it's a lot of people you're talking to, but we have a gift to give. And if Caitlin would have never posted that photo 3.5 years ago of her transformation, I don't know if I'd be here today. And so every time I sit down to send an invite, I know that I have an incredible gift to give other people. I know because I look around at all of Team Elevate and I say that they've been willing to open their lives up to this gift, if there's 500 of them, I know that there are hundreds and thousands of other people ready and willing. It's just my job to go find them. And I really truthfully hope that you feel that in your heart, because the more you do and the more passion you feel for it, the more belief you have instilled in your core, the easier your invites are going to be. The more fluent your invites are going to be. The more fluent your Instagram stories are going to be. But also know, if you're a new coach, it comes over time and experiences. If I can give you any piece of advice, just work on yourself and let that passion spread like wildfire, because the best way to build trust is for other people to see that you're in this and you're not just doing it for the money. You're in this. You're in this for yourself, because I want to sign up with a coach who is so focused on herself and is so consistent on herself and shows up even on the days she doesn't want to, so that I know that she's going to show up to me on every single one of those days. And so be that coach. Do the not so sexy stuff. Send the invites. Do your monthly marketing plan. You guys should know when you're hosting a coach sneak peek. And if you're like, oh my God, I don't host a coach sneak peek, host a coach sneak peek. Pair up with somebody who inspires you. Host a coach sneak peek. If you are somebody who, sends 2 invites a day, up that number to 10 this week. And then next week, up it to 20. And the week after that, up it to 30. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. That's where change happens, guys. For those of you who say you don't want to be where you are right now and a year from now, get out of your comfort zone. Don't wait till tomorrow. After this call, get out your notebook, piece of paper, and send 30 invites. Find 30 people to tell about this incredible Lift 4 program, that you're doing this 8-week program. If I were to align you to a nutrition and workout plan, would you be down to crush these next 8 weeks with me and the other girls? Totally cool if it's not your jam, but figured I'd ask. But will it make sense? Will that invite make sense if you're not showing up on the front end? Probably not. So make sure you're showing up on the front end. Deal? Do the not so sexy stuff. Duplication. Who do you crave to lead? I want you guys to put in the chat, who is your ideal coach? Like, what attributes think of 3 attributes of an ideal coach. Like, I can think right now what my dream coach attributes would be. Like, if I were to sign up a coach, what would I want them to do? Post it in the chat. What would Ashley Feldeisen do? Okay. Love it. I love these attributes. Okay, cool. So those things that you're listing, you need to be, and you need to 10xing. So let's say, for instance, motivated, happy, excitable. You better be that person. Motivated, happy, excitable, that's a light, right? That's just this person other people want to be around. You need to exude those things if you want to attract those things. Now, I love to attract, like, my 3 attributes would be hard worker, strong-minded, and passionate. Like, those are my 3 things that I could think of 50 million things. But I want someone who's going to come in this and not going to quit after the first month because they see the hard work. I also want a visionary. I should have said that one. I'm going to change to visionary. I want somebody who can come in this and they just see long term, right? Like that man who had 100 pounds to lose. I want somebody to come in and see, okay, in 3 years from now, I want to be making a 6-figure income. Well, in order to make that 6-figure income, I need to do X, Y, and Z first in order to get there. And so whatever type of person you crave on your downline, you need to be. Your coaches are going to do exactly what you do. So if you're not hitting Success Club, if you're not getting on team calls, if you are not inviting, if you are not doing your workouts, if you are not filling up your own cup first, if you are not reading personal development, if you are not being this light in your team page, being this light on social media, your coaches will not be that person either. And it is so important for you to be exactly who you crave to lead. And I promise you, when you do become that person, they just flow to you. They flow freely to you. When you show up and pour into yourself, when you show up and pour into the controllable things each day, all of a sudden, these hardworking women who want to work this hard business start to show up to you. And so Be duplicatable. Just duplicate. And it's not a matter of saying, here, do this, do that, do this. It's a matter of showing up. Like, your coaches look to you. Like, April could lead all of your coaches if she wanted and make them successful, but that's not going to happen, right? When my coaches, when my great grandbaby coaches, like if I have Coach Way in my downline sign up a coach, I'm not going to work one-on-one with that coach, right? They're not going to look at me. They'll know me, who I am, because I lead team calls and I lead the trainings and stuff like that. They'll look to me, but I'm not going to be their guiding light. Their guiding light is going to be the coach who signed them up. So if their coach who signed them up is getting on team calls, they're going to get on team calls. They already know that I'm getting on team calls because I'm hosting them, right? Doesn't matter what I do. It matters what their coach does. So if their coach is hitting success them, if they see their coach on leaderboards, if they see their coach on team calls, that's going to be what they look toward. That's going to be their guiding light for them. And just remember that April can be an incredible coach, but your coaches need you. Your coaches need you in order to lead the path, okay? So just be who you crave to lead. And reflection. I am a major reflector. I am somebody who will sit back on a Sunday and say, okay, what did I do this week and what do I need to do better next week? And so I've had a really crazy couple of weeks. We are selling our house, moving into Tyler's parents' basement again, traveling like crazy. And there are a lot of things I would have changed in the past 3 weeks. But I have to sit down and tell myself it's okay. And who I was yesterday does not make me who I am tomorrow, right? I can say to myself, all right, what did I do yesterday that I loved and need to do more of? What do I need to do less of that I did? Yes, or what did I do yesterday that I need to do less of? Maybe less Netflix, maybe less scrolling, maybe more inviting, maybe more content on social media, maybe more my booty in my chair and less on my couch. And so I do this consistent reflection. And so I have a reflection part in my calendar, in my agenda, but I also like to write it down in my notebook. And that's what I build my to-do list off of. And so build your to-do list based off of what type of day you have that day. And so ask yourself, what do I need to do more of tomorrow? And put it on your to-do list. Make a mental note that I need to do less of X, Y, and Z. And so the more you reflect, the more that you look in the mirror and ask yourself, who do you want to become? What type of person do you crave to become? What type of leader do your girls need? The more reflection you do, the more dedicated you're going to be to this business, the more dedicated you're going to be to your journey. Okay, so just consistently look in the mirror. All right, that's all that I have for you guys. I don't know if there's any questions.
I don't think we had any questions. I think we were just either talking or answering yours. So I don't think we had any there, but I want you, oh, are you raising your hand? Oh, sorry, I forgot. I asked a question. I was like, Justin, are you raising your hand to talk? So I love that so much. And I love that, it's not anything new, but if you want to know what people are doing that's successful, they're getting out of their own way. And Ashley just did such a great job at explaining that. So I'm going to just open it up. Does anybody want to pick her brain about anything she does regarding inviting or training or anything like that that you want to ask her about, because we have her here? If so, now's your time, or forever hold your peace. So I just wanted to see if I could open it up, and if anybody has anything that they're struggling with in any aspect, if you want to get her opinion on it, now's your time.
I do have a quick question.
Okay.
So, like, I'm not afraid of getting no's. I've totally accepted that. But, like, how do you pick out the right people for invites? Like, or do you just literally invite everybody?
I think that's the beauty of Instagram, is that it's such a personal place without being super personal. And so if people are following your journey, invite them. If they're engaging in your content and if they are consistently showing up to you, there's something there. So invite them. I do not message anybody that doesn't follow me. So I always just message people based on ones who watch my Instagram story and who like my photos. So I'm just consistently going through those people. But I'm also consistently following new people to up my followers. And so if you guys are growing your Instagrams organically, just making sure that you are going out and actively finding people that you can relate to. You can do that by hashtags. You can do that by different profiles. One that I really like to follow is I go to Jessie James Decker. I just totally gave away my secret, but I go to Jessie James Decker and I follow a lot of girls who follow her just because I'm really into fashion and stuff like that. And so I attract a lot of those people. And that's why it's so important for not to hide behind Beachbody, because I don't want them to come to my page and see that I am just throwing up fitness everywhere. I want to show them that there's so much more to Ashley. And so the people who stick around are there for a reason, and just invite those people consistently.
Okay.
Hopefully that answered it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that. And I think it's so important too. It's like, don't wait around for people to message you. Don't wait around for people to respond to your stories or things like that. Just show up, be consistent, and don't be like butthurt if somebody isn't like, because think about how long you followed your coach, and like you weren't necessarily commenting, you weren't necessarily liking, but you were watching. And whether you were the person that signed up right away, or you watched it before you ever even reached out, or they even reached out to you, just know that there's somebody at every end of the spectrum, and just keep doing you and being consistent and showing up. And those are the people that need you. And a lot of times people just need somebody to believe in them. So when you come out as a friend and positive and saying like, oh my gosh, you would be so perfect for our tribe. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? People just like, they just need somebody to believe in them. And that's all you need to do. And you also need to believe in yourself and your ability to be a coach. It doesn't matter if you don't have any coaches. It doesn't matter where you are. We're all in this together. So if you are like not sure where to go or what to do, you have a huge tribe of people supporting you. So you don't have to worry about failing, because you're not going to have to figure this all out on your own. So yeah. So does anybody else have anything for Ashley? This was such good, just like kick you in the nuts, needed this, get out of your own way, which is exactly what I wanted. So thank you so much for this. Oh, is she gone? Wait, where did I go? Oh, there you are. Okay. Sorry. I was like, oh, bye. So does anybody else have anything for her, or should we wrap it up? Okay. I think we're good. So thank you so much. Ashley, do you mind stop sharing your screen so we can take a quick selfie for our Instagram stories? Okay. If you guys are there, if you could come off so the little black screen just for a second so we can see your face, and then I'll share this call in the team page, and I promise it won't be a video. So Jessica, Elizabeth, Tiffany, can you pop on real quick? If you're driving or anything, that's totally fine. But all right. So let me see. I can't, my phone is broke. Oh yeah, Tiffany, you told me that, sorry. Okay, now I have to make this go away so you're not covering up somebody's face.
You can just draw a stick figure over Tiffany.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, everyone smile. And then I'll post this in the team page so you guys can use this as well. So thank you so much, Ashley. We so appreciate you taking the time out for us. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in person soon. Yay. And continue rocking your business. Your team is so lucky to have you, and good luck with your move and everything. I know how stressful that is.